Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. It's our Old Town Grill High School Game of the Week. It's tonight we're back at Cumberland Gap High School as the Cumberland Gap Panthers play host to the Wartburg Central Bulldogs in regional action. Both these teams need a regional victory to try to push themselves into the postseason in November. Who walks out the winner? Stay tuned to find out. It's Wartburg, it's Cumberland Gap, it's regional action, and it's next. And Never Stitch will come in motion. Toe meets leather, and we're underway here at Cumberland Gap High School. A nice end-over-end kick taken from the 9-yard line. To the 15. Going to the far side to this 20. And being dropped at the 20-yard line. Ball's on the ground. Beanbag. Did Cumberland Gap get the first turnover of the game right off the bat? And they're going to say Cumberland Gap has got this one off the kickoff return fumble. So Cumberland Gap gets the first turnover, and now they're set with business.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It was the return man for the Bulldogs. I believe it was number 10, Josh Moore, as it was Caleb Franklin for Cumberland Gap, the senior defensive back that jarred that ball loose with a great tackle, great coverage. And, you know, we talk about it, turnovers and defense win ball games. And that was the opening kickoff of the game. And Cumberland Gap's off to a tremendous start because, you know, now we know that Cumberland Gap's going to get the ball to start the second half. They come up with a turnover to start the game off. So tremendous coverage by Cumberland Gap.
Panthers will start with a K middle. First down and 10 at the Bulldogs' 16-yard line. It's going to be a handoff up the middle, running with the football to the 10, to the 5, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Cumberland Gap on the first play from scrimmage. Run up the middle there by Matt Mugridge. And we are not even 30 seconds into this contest. We're 25 seconds in. Cumberland Gap's got a turnover, and they've got a score.
Well, I love the play call with the run up the middle, just sending it right into the teeth of the defense off the first play of scrimmage.
So Neverstitch will now have the attempt. High snap. Neverstitch is going to have to just take this. Throws back off to the holder, and it's going to be, I guess, incomplete. The whistle never blew. Kind of thought the holder might have just run that one on in, but I guess he decided better of it. And we're going to hold it here because we're just 25 seconds into this particular contest. And unbelievably, Cumberland Gap is now up 6-0.
Well, I think that's the perfect way to start a matchup if you're looking for a regional win with a turnover, causing a turnover on the opening kickoff and then punching it in the very next play, you know, sending that message to the defense that they're going to run the ball and they're going to run the ball some more. As Matt Mugridge, who's been used, the senior for the Panthers, he's been used in those power-type situations, and when you have the ball off the turnover with the short field, you know, it's very simple play calling. It makes a head coach's job much easier to give it to the big fella in the backfield.
So that drive, one play, 16 yards, took 7 seconds off the clock. You couldn't have scripted it any better for Cumberland Gap. I guess the only way to make it scripted any better is if it had picked the kickoff fumble and ran that one in.
Yeah, I think that's the only scenario that could have worked out any better. You know, it's probably got to go back pretty far to find out the last time that any team scored this quickly into a contest.
Nevertheless, we are 25 seconds in. The Panthers lead this one 6-0. And Neverstitch, who's probably been on the field for just about every play except for the offensive play that scored the touchdown, puts the toe to the leather again. As Cumberland Gap will try for the same thing. Starting from the 16 to the 20, to the 25, to the 30, to the 35, and being run down about the 37-yard line for the Bulldogs. On the return was Josh Moore, number 10, who had the fumble last time.
And that was a nice job for Moore to kind of redeem himself off of that kickoff, breaking a few tackles as you saw there towards the end of the play. That Cumberland Gap defense wanted to strip that ball out again. They were trying to start the lawnmower. They were trying to pull the ball away from Moore. But nonetheless, now then, Wartburg will settle in for their first offensive drive.
All sets at the Bulldog 37-yard line, and your starting quarterback this evening for Wartburg Central is Josh Moore. He's going to drop back, looking to pass here on first down. It's a KK middle first down. It rolls off right side, looking, throws across the middle, incomplete. It is incomplete. Actually, it's Jeremiah Davis. I've marked that wrong there. It's 12, not 10 that's got the start. So Jeremiah Davis is your starting quarterback, and that first one goes incomplete.
as Davis really felt the pressure as he was rolling off to the right side as the Cumberland Gap defense, the Panther, was really closing in on the quarterback quickly, and the pass intended for Dakota Smith. Tried to squeeze it into a tight gap there, falls incomplete.
2nd down and 10, no receivers. Quarterback under the gun, has 3 backs. Fumbled snap, and it's still going to be on the ground. I believe Cumberland Gap. Ball still out, and the Gap is on that one for their 2nd fumble recovery, this time at the Bulldog 36-yard line.
Unbelievable. Not even a minute still into this opening quarter, and the Cumberland Gap defense has come away with 2 turnovers as Wartburg trying to mix it up on 2nd down, trying to go with the run, and the quarterback under center. A simple miscommunication between the center and the quarterback. Ball's on the ground, and really in those situations, the quarterback can panic, and I believe that's what Davis did, and it resulted in the defense picking up the loose ball.
It'll be a K and incremental 1st down and 10 for Cumberland Gap. 2 receivers to the left side, 2 to the right. Man in motion now from the right to the left. Handoff up the middle. This is Mugridge again to the left side, to the 30, to the 25, to the 20, to the 15, and finally being run down from behind just past the 15-yard line, inside the 15, near the 10. That's Mugridge once again, and right now Cumberland Gap is running the ball like a hot knife through butter.
Yeah, that's right, and it was Boone Davidson who stopped a touchdown from Matt Mugridge. Great play call from Coach DeLynn Klein as the Wartburg defense was expecting a run, bounced outside to the middle, and the Bulldog defense forgot about the man that just scored the touchdown, Mugridge, and he made him pay for a big gain.
22 yards on that run, sets up another K, came out of 1st down and 10. Ball now at the 13-yard line. 2 receivers to the right side. Man in motion now from the right to the left. It's going to be a pitch out to that man in motion. Cutting back up toward the middle and getting inside the 15.
I believe it was Upton, number 7.
Okay, number 7,
yeah.
okay.
Jason Upton on the carry. As the Wartburg defense really, on the previous play where Mugridge was able to break it away for over 20 yards, they had the outside covered well, and they had again on that play.
They'll bring up 2nd down. Let's call it 9. Pistol formation, man in motion from the left to the right. Handoff up the middle again, and I believe this is Mugridge. He gets cut down by the legs at about the 10-yard line.
And the first time that Mugridge has been slowed down on the day. I mentioned earlier on that they go to the senior for those power situations, and now all of a sudden, faced with a 3rd down and long here, the defense may have woken up now for Wartburg.
3rd down and 7 upcoming for Cumberland Gap. Your quarterback is Caden Brunsma. I know we've not called his name yet, but we've not really had a chance and not really a need because he just keeps handing the ball off.
That's right.
3rd down and 7. 2 receivers left side, 2 to the right. Pistol formation for Brunsma. Brunsma going to drop, looks, throws off. It is incomplete. Falls incomplete as it was intended.
Number 2, I believe, Brady Pearman was the intended receiver.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's just a little bit too high, on the situation where Brunsma, forcing the quarterback to throw the ball away, and the pass was just too high. Had the pass been completed, it would have been close to that 1st down. And it looks like that Coach Klein's going to go for it.
They're going to go for this one. Yeah. On 4th down and 7. Ball resting at about the 10-yard line. 1 receiver to the left side, make it 2 to the left side, 2 to the right. Pistol formation for Brunsma. I'm going to try it again here. Brunsma drops, looks, come to the right side. It's up in the air. It's complete in the back corner. Touchdown, Cumberland Gap. Was that Peyton Welch in the backside of the corner? And it was.
Sure was. Wow. What a clutch throw there from Caden Brunsma, throwing the fade into the end zone. That was a perfect pass to the corner of the end zone for Pearman off the light coverage from the Wartburg defender. And I love, from Cumberland Gap, I love the decision to go for it on 4th down. No hesitation whatsoever, and it results in 6 points.
So they're going to try for the extra point once again. The last time the snap was high. Neverstitch gets a better snap. He gets this attempt up. Neverstitch's attempt is good. We'll take this time out of the field. 9:32 left to go, 1st quarter. Our new score, it is Cumberland Gap 13. It's Wartburg Central, nothing.
Country Market is your destination for the finest and freshest foods in the tri-state area. Yesteryear features a variety of groceries, natural foods, and homemade desserts like their mudslide brownie and strawberry pudding. Yesteryear also has baked goods prepared fresh every day, such as their freshly baked breads sold by the loaf, or they can be put on a sandwich from their deli. Yesteryear Country Market, located at 1453 Highway 63 in Cumberland Gap.
Make K&K Metal Sales your only stop for all your residential and commercial metal building needs. For the past 23 years, K&K Metal Sales has covered the tri-state area with quality custom roofing and siding with many grades, gauges, and colors in stock. If you're looking for complete steel or wood building packages or steel or wood trusses, K&K Metal Sales can help with that, as well as heavy-duty custom carports. Great folks and great prices. Stop by K&K Metal Sales located at 6986 Cumberland Gap Parkway or call 423.
Welcome back out to Cumberland Gap High School. We've played 2.5 minutes. Panthers lead this one 13-0. That last scoring drive, 5 plays, took a minute 40 off the clock, went 35 yards. Both times helped by the fumble from Wartburg. First one on special teams on the opening kickoff. Second one on offense.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. I mean, offensively, already 2 turnovers for Wartburg, and defensively, you've already given up more points than you did last week all game long.
And here's another good kickoff taken at the 16-yard line. To the 25, go to the far sideline looking for a hole. And getting pumped and dropped when they finally turned the curve. And the Bulldogs will start with a K&K Metal first down and 10. Looks like they'll start from their own 22-yard line.
And it was Caleb Franklin, again, the senior defensive back, making a play on special teams. He was the one that caused the first fumble of the day as he came in there immediately to bring the ball carrier down. Showed some speed on that one to bring the return man for Wartburg down to the turf. That's a second stellar special teams play from Franklin.
Jeremiah Davis is your quarterback for Wartburg. They got to remember, it's still early. You can stay calm in this situation. On a K&K Metal first down and 10, Davis goes under the center with 3 backs. He's going to hand off and come to the right side and bring the ball forward for about a no gain. And I believe on that run was Moore. That's Josh Moore, number 10.
As Moore goes up the middle and gets stuffed by the Cumberland Gap defensive line. You know that Coach Human for Wartburg is really out off these first 2 drives has sent the message to the team to just hang on to that football in those running situations.
Second down and 10 after no gain. Again, 3 backs in the line behind the quarterback. He's going to roll off to the left side. Lookings throws off into the flat. It is intercepted. Actually, they're going to say Cumberland Gap comes up with this one on the interception. 3 turnovers immediately for Cumberland Gap.
And guess who it was with the interception? Matt Mugridge, the same player that's been carrying the football and scored the opening touchdown on offense. He comes up with a big play on the defensive end with a big interception. Kind of almost bobbled the ball as soon as he caught it and then wrestled the ball away from the receiver. I like the play call from Wartburg to go with the pass with no receivers in the lineup, but nonetheless, the 3rd turnover of the game already for that Bulldog offense. Cumberland Gap's going to take over now with a short field again.
8:44 left to go first quarter. It's a K&K Metal first down and 10. Bobbled snap, and Cumberland Gap, will fall upon it and be taken back for a loss to the 25-yard line.
And Cumberland Gap nearly just gave the ball right back over to Wartburg. Another mishap in the backfield right there. Mugridge was able to scoop the ball up and lose a couple of yards. Before Cumberland Gap, you believe even with that error there on first down, the Panthers have been able to move the ball very successfully so far.
Second down and 15 now for the Panthers. 2 receivers to the right side, 2 to the left. Man in motion from the right to the left. Going to be a pitch out to that man in motion. Over to the left side, getting the block to the 30. Flag on the play as he goes up into the end zone. That was Gage Ellison on the run, but I believe this one may come back.
I think you're right. As Ellison sprinted down the far sideline, I believe it's going to be a hold here.
It's going to be a hold or a block in the back.
Yeah.
Block in the back against Cumberland Gap. It was on the end where the penalty occurred as Ellison tried to make the turn. And that's what made me think it might be blocking the back, and it is against Cumberland Gap.
Yeah. As that's going to back up Cumberland Gap even further now. As the Panthers, as Wartburg's already made 3 huge mistakes offensively. Now the first offensive mistake for Cumberland Gap in the form of the first penalty of the game.
As they're still getting ready to mark this one off. And they'll mark it back to the 31-yard line. First down is at the 8. It'll be second down. And right at 23 yards to go. Handoff up the middle. Flag on the play. Actually, it's a fake. It's going to be complete down inside the 5, but if this one's coming back once again, I believe again, we may have illegal motion.
I think it's.
And it is going to be illegal motion against Cumberland Gap. Almost like an illegal shift.
I think you're right. I believe it was number 7, Jason Upton, who really had the illegal shift before the snap of the ball, as I noticed that right before the snap in the backfield with that illegal movement. That's going to back up the Panthers even further. Goodness, Cumberland Gap's way behind the sticks now on this occasion.
The positive is on these 2 plays you've had penalties, you've technically you scored and came close.
Yeah,
so.
absolutely. And if you recall, the last touchdown that Cumberland Gap scored was on a 4th and 8 scenario, a floating pass into the end zone in the corner that was delivered perfectly. So even with these offensive mistakes and even with this 2nd down and forever, Cumberland Gap has been able to move the ball in these huge situations. So I don't think there's really any worries if you're the Panther offense.
2nd down, let's call it 28 now yards to go. Ball resting at the 36-yard line. 2 receivers to either side. Man in motion from the left to the right. Hand off to Mugridge, battling his way up the middle. And Wartburg will have him stopped about the 34-yard line for a gain of close to 2, maybe 3 yards.
Is Coach Klein for Cumberland Gap trying to catch the defense off guard with the Bulldog defensive unit expecting to pass there on 2nd down and long, and they opt to stay on the ground. You got to think here now with 3rd and very long that the Panthers will put the ball in the air.
Ball resting at the 33-yard line. It'll be 3rd down, let's call it 25 yards to go. 2 receivers to the left side, 2 to the right. Pistol formation for Brunsma. Sends a man in motion from the left to the right. Play action, rolling. Sets off to the right side, throws into the flat, and it's too far for his intended receiver, and it'll go incomplete.
And as you mentioned, pass just out of the reach of the receiver, and had that pass been complete, it still would have been well short of the sticks. And now with the 4th down and very long scenario, you'll expect Cumberland Gap to...
You expect them to punt, but the way the defense is playing, you might want to just go ahead and go for this.
Yeah, and another reason for that, maybe if Cumberland Gap doesn't get it, Wartburg essentially would have the field position where they started their last drive.
2 receivers off to either side on 4th down. Pistol formation for Brunsma. He's going to drop, looking, throws off down the right side. That one is incomplete, and better off for it as Wartburg had a defender dive for the interception. But Wartburg will now turn the ball over on downs and will have the ball at their 33-yard line.
And a good job by the Wartburg defense to, finally off of their 3rd turnover of the game, facing a short field for the 3rd consecutive time, finally, not allowing that Cumberland Gap offense to reach the end zone, although it was helped by a few penalties committed by the Panthers. Nonetheless, Wartburg's going to take over now, and it's key for the Bulldogs to just simply not give the ball over to the defense.
2 receiver to the left side. Now man in motion from the right to the left as the quarterback stands in the gun. Rolls off, right side, looks, throws, and it's complete over on the far side. I believe he got that to Tyler Davis. Excuse me, that's 18, Jesse Melhorn, not 15.
And what a catch that was from Melhorn to really go over top of the defender in what could have been another turnover for Wartburg. That could have easily been an interception for the Bulldogs, but nonetheless a great catch on the sideline from Melhorn.
Ball resting at the 40-yard line. It's 2nd down. This is going to be a run to the near side to the 40 and popped and dropped. On that run was Moore. I'm going to give him forward progress to the 41-yard line.
Good pursuit by Cumberland Gap initially. The Panther defense overplayed just a little bit with few of those missed tackles, and Moore was able to capitalize. That Cumberland Gap defense is trying to rip away at that football again, trying to cause another fumble. 3rd
down and 2. Trips to the right side. Quarterback in the gun. Dropping, looking. Got a roll off right side this time. Throws off. It is complete to the 46-yard line. That will be good enough for another K. Came out on 1st down and 10. As he gets it off into the hands, looks like Bailey Bunch, number 25.
Wartburg showing a nice balance of receivers to have caught the football, as it was Jesse Melhorn on the previous catch up the sideline. Bailey Bunch catches this one, and that's got to feel so good for the Wartburg offensive unit to get their first down of the contest.
They'll spread it out on a K, came out on 1st down and 10. One receiver now comes in motion to make trips to the left. Quarterback drops, throws across the middle, wide open receiver to the 50 is complete, and he'll bring the ball forward to the 45-yard line. And I'm not real sure.
I think it was Moore.
Number 10?
Yes.
That's what we'll go with.
Yep.
Good positive yardage.
Again, yeah, and on 1st down, too, to pick up 9 yards with the pass to Moore up the sideline. And this Wartburg offense waking up now. They're moving the ball at will.
It's 2nd down and 1. 2 receivers to the left. It's going to be a handoff up the middle, getting the 1st down, and bring the ball forward to the 41-yard line. And I believe once again, if you'll turn, that was Moore, number 10.
And nothing fancy there on the 2nd down and short scenario to give the ball to the to the workhorse really on offense, being Josh Moore, and converts another first down.
Wartburg's moving quickly here. 2 receivers to the left side. Now man in motion from the left to the right. Make 2 to the right side. Play action. Drop in. Trying to set up the screen. Cannot do so. And just taking a shot down the field. It's complete to the 35-yard line. That's Moore on the catch. Give the quarterback Davis credit. He never stopped on the screen, and he still finds his running back at the 36-yard line.
Yeah, and even though the pass was a little bit underthrown from Davis, Moore was able to really have a nice job, rather, of coming back to the ball and diving on it as Wartburg's hurrying up here.
2nd down and 5. Quarterback going to hand off up the middle to the 35 and dragging Panthers past the 35 to about the 32-yard line is the Bulldogs. And once again, that was Moore.
Yeah, Moore, I believe, had the football for the last 4 plays. And now for Wartburg, running this high-tempo offense, it's really got the Cumberland Gap defense with their hands on their hips a little bit, and the Panther defense is on their heels. 3rd
down and 1. Trips to the right side, 1 to the left. Quarterback's in the shotgun by himself. Sends a man in motion now from the right to the left. Look for the jet sweep, and it is so. Cumberland Gap not there for it, and they pop and drop him, as I believe that was Dakota Smith, number 22, that had the run.
And Smith was met by a host of tacklers, and as you mentioned before the play even got underway, it looked like it could be a jet sweep, and the Cumberland Gap defense surely thought so as well. As it was, they were able to really stop the ball carrier before the line of scrimmage, essentially, and you've got to think that Coach Human's going to go for this one on 4th down and short for Wartburg to keep the offense on the field.
It's 4th down, let's call it 3. And the Bulldog offense stays on the field. 3 receivers to the left side, 1 to the right. Again, your quarterback, Davis, stands in a gun. Sends a man in motion from the left to the right. Davis rolls off, looking, feeling some pressure, throws back to the 45, to the 40, getting the edge to the 35, and going out of bounds on the catch was Boone Davidson. And Davidson does not get enough for the first down, and Cumberland Gap will turn him over on downs as Davidson, I believe, is marked out. That's actually closer to the sticks than I thought it was going to be. Mark him at the 31. It's going to be a first down for Wartburg.
Wow.
I thought he went out of bounds a little quicker than that. But
from my vantage point, too, it looked like he gone out of bounds a little bit quicker. And now for Wartburg, they're going to snap this ball quickly to ensure that there's no extra, look at the spot. As the chains have already moved and play's getting ready to start.
Trips to the right, 1 to the left on a Kane Committal first down. Going to be a throw out to the right side, out into the flat. It's complete to the 30, to the 25, to the 20. Battling, getting the first down. And I believe on the run this time off the pass, I believe it was Davidson once again.
And it was. Davidson going from one side of the field to the other in consecutive plays. A very tough effort from Davidson that time to break several tackles and really fight for extra yardage on the sideline. And another first down. I'm, highly impressed with the Wartburg offense, forgetting about the turnovers that happened previously, and they're moving the ball tremendously well.
It's a Kane Committal first down and 10 at the 18-yard line. Wartburg in the red zone. They're going to hand off up the middle, got a hole. This is past the 10, past the 5, stretching forward for the end zone. He does not get in there, but it's Josh Moore bringing the ball forward to about the 2-yard line for the Bulldogs.
All of a sudden, Wartburg knocking on the door. Right up the middle goes Moore. Again, the Bulldogs going to snap it very quickly before trying to get it before Cumberland Gap even gets fully set on defense.
It's a Kane Committal first down and 10. And I believe we're going to get a timeout. Wartburg. It's going to be Cumberland Gap takes the timeout. I was going to say they had defenders running off the field, and they had to spend a timeout to make sure they did not get the penalty. Ball resting at the 2-yard line. The Bulldogs driving here with 3:30 left to go here inside of the first quarter. We're going to hold it here for this break. Interesting. I talked about it, I think the last time Wartburg had the ball before this. You're down by quite a lot at the moment. You're only down by 2 touchdowns right now. You've went through a lot this first quarter with 3 turnovers, but it seems like they've settled down. They're running their pace of offense here. We saw it's hurting Cumberland Gap. They had to spend the timeout, but they're moving the ball down the field.
There's no doubt that Wartburg stared adversity right in the face here in this first quarter, having come away with those 3 turnovers in the opening 3 drives. But since then, it's been a whole new different Bulldog squad, and I think it shocked this Cumberland Gap defense. I think the Panthers expected maybe another turnover or a turnover on downs, rather, and now potentially the Bulldogs have a chance to get 6.
On a Kane Committal first down and goal from the 2. Going to be a handoff up the middle. Cumberland Gap is there, but it's going to be Moore that bounces off. It gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Wartburg Central, as it was Josh Moore, who had the first turnover for Wartburg, redeems himself by putting 6 on the board.
Yep, absolutely. As it looked like Moore was stuffed in the backfield by a couple of defenders, but a nice job by Moore, nice perseverance to stay alive on the play and scamper into the end zone to bring it within 1.
Bulldogs going to go for 2 here. Quarterback under the center. Going to roll off to the right side, looking, stiff arm and being drugged down from behind. It's going to be, but now they're going to call him down. They're going to say he was sacked. They waited until it was intercepted. But nevertheless, Wartburg's two-point conversion fails. And with 3:24 left to go, we'll take this break telling you our new score. It's the Panthers 13. It's the Bulldogs 6.
If you enjoy lakes, boating, mountains, and great food, you'll love Norris Landing Marina in Claiborne County, Tennessee. Located off Lone Mountain Road, Norris Landing Marina has these benefits for you. A 170-slip marina with seasonal rental slips, rental pontoon and pleasure boats, vacation cabins and cottages, a 23-space RV park, and Jimmy's Place Restaurant. Great food and casual dining in an on-the-water setting. Contact us and make the Norris Landing Marina your enjoyment destination.
It's the Old Town Grill.
The Old Town Grill is a special place where you bring more than family, more than friends. Bring a hearty appetite, because at the Old Town Grill, you'll never walk away hungry. A delicious change from the ordinary. The perfect place to bring the entire family. The best food and plenty of it. Join the fun and treat your appetite to something special.
It's the OTG.
The OTG is the place to be.
Wartburg Central, the Bulldogs, just scoring, going 67 yards in 12 plays, taking 3:29 off the clock, and with 3:24 left to go here inside of the first quarter, they bring it back to a one-possession contest, as now they trail Cumberland Gap 13-6. As we said, biggest thing for the Bulldogs, settle down, play your offense. We're still early on in this contest.
Yeah, if you would have tuned into this contest in the midst of that drive, you would have had no clue that the Wartburg offense had already had 3 turnovers on the day, because the Wartburg offensive unit and Coach Kevin Heumann for the Bulldogs, they really, I'm sure that he emphasized the message to just forget about the turnovers, because we've seen now, and statistically it's not really shown throughout some portions of the season, but Wartburg can move the football. With their up-tempo style and balancing out their offensive schemes, and they were able to get into the end zone rather easily on that drive through a lot of plays.
Boone Davidson kicks it off to the 20, to the 25, reversing to the far sideline. There's a block to the back. It's a fumble, and Cumberland Gap gets on this one. And as we said, blocking the back's going to attack that one on farther backwards. And realistically, Cumberland Gap's last offensive drive was moving. They shot themselves in the foot with 2 or 3 straight penalties. It made it second down in the quarter part of the field. That's really what stopped their last drive. Is this is going to be a block in the back against the Panthers, and they're going to start with horrible field position on their side.
Yeah, it really feels, even though Cumberland Gap leads this one 13-6, that now the momentum has shifted to the visitors. As if you think about it, when Upton just fumbled that kickoff return, and if he hadn't fallen on top of that, that would have been disaster for Cumberland Gap, as Wartburg would have had the ball with outstanding field possession and could have potentially tied that contest up. Cumberland Gap's very thankful to have this football right now, and you really just now, we'll see what the Panther offense does now when they have, so much yardage to go, as their 3 drives on the game so far have been with a very short field to go. They've converted on 2 of the 3, as it was the third one. Penalties really cost them on that one.
They'll start this one with a Kane Camino first down and 10 starting from their 9-yard line. 1 receiver to the left side, 2 to the right. Make it 2 receivers now to the left side, 2 to the right. Pistol formation for Brunsma. Sends a man in motion from the left to the right. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. As this is Mugridge bringing the ball forward to about the 13-yard line for a gain of 4.
Again with Mugridge up the middle. Cumberland Gap's found a lot of success in that area, finding a gap in the Wartburg schemes for the defensive line and the linebackers for a nice gain on first down for Mugridge up the middle.
Second down, let's call it 6 yards to go. Ball on the far hash mark. 2 receivers to the left side, 2 to the right. Again, pistol formation for Brunsman. Man in motion now from the left to the right. Pitch out to that man in motion, coming to the near side, to the 10, to the 15, and past the 20 to about the 21, 22-yard line. And was that Upton?
I believe it was.
Waiting for him to get up off the turf. And it was number 6. No, excuse me.
7.
7,
Upton.
yeah, Upton.
Nice job from the senior to really showcase his speed on that play with the pitch to the outside, as there were defenders there, and Upton was just simply able to outrun the defense for the first down to keep the play alive.
That's a Kane Camino first down and 10 ball, the near hash mark at the 24-yard line. Again, 2 receivers to the left side, 1 to the right. Pistol formation. Man in motion now from the right to the left. It's going to be a handoff to Muggeridge up the middle. He's got some room past the 30. Takes a hit to the 35-yard line. He's got hit low and hit high. Muggeridge gets up off the turf and realizes he's not got another K&K medal. First down and 10 for the Panthers.
And that's a testament to the toughness of the senior Muggeridge as he took a huge hit towards the end of the play and just shrugged it off like it was nothing, virtually. A very nice run from Muggeridge again to the first down. Cumberland Gap, again, when they don't commit these mistakes through penalties, their offense can move the ball. Similar to Wartburg, it's just been the turnovers for the Bulldogs that have been their downfall.
Approaching 2 minutes now to go. K&K medal first down. It's going to be a reverse to the far side, to the 35, to the 40. And past the 45, getting the first down on the run this time was Ellison. And Ellison brings the ball forward to the 40, let's call it the 48-yard line. A gain of 13, and a K&K medal first down and 10.
And as Coach Klein sent all of the offensive threats for Cumberland Gap to the right side, Gage Ellison goes up the left side off the handoff from Brunsma for another first down. And all of a sudden, the bad field position that Cumberland Gap had just a few moments ago has been completely wiped out.
It's just more yards to put in the stat column.
That's right.
It's a K&K medal first down and 10 for Cumberland Gap at their 48. Two receivers right side, one to the left is in motion. And we're going to get a flag on the play. We're going to have a false start against Cumberland Gap.
And again, just as we start praising the offense for Cumberland Gap, another penalty against the Panthers, as it is officially now a false start against Cumberland Gap. So now, luckily though, for that penalty, even though it was the false start, it happens on first down, so you have 3, potentially maybe 4 plays to try and get that back.
Ball now at the Panther 43-yard line. It's first down and 15. It's still a K&K medal first down. As the clock runs, we are now approaching 90 seconds left to go first quarter. Panthers lead this one 13-6. Two receivers to the right side, one to the left. Man in motion is the left. High snap. He's going to have to pick this one up. And Wartburg's going to be all over him as they'll drop him back outside of the 40 at about the 37-yard line.
And what was another near disaster for Cumberland Gap, most of these mistakes are occurring in the backfield, and between the offensive line and the quarterback is there. The snap was just a little bit too high. Brunsma gets his fingertips on it. The ball sails up in the air, and it just falls right into the arms of Upton. So, again, fortunate for Cumberland Gap to recover that offensive fumble.
Second down and long now coming up for Cumberland Gap. Two receivers off to either side. Pistol formation. Man in motion from the left to right. Another high snap. Pitch out. And this is going to be wrapped up and taken back behind the 30 at about the 28-yard line. As that was number 4, I believe, Peyton Welch that had the run.
And Peyton Welch gets the pitch to the right side off of another high snap. The defense for Wartburg was there again. It actually kind of went against Cumberland Gap's favor that Welch broke a few of those tackles in the backfield because the defenders just kept on coming. And now it's third down and long again. The second consecutive drive that penalties have really affected Cumberland Gap's offensive output as they were moving the ball perfectly up until this point, and now it's third down and forever.
Panthers are 1 for 2 on third down this evening. As the clock continues to run, we're under 15 seconds left to go. It's third down and a country mile. That's going to be a play action. Brunsma throws off the hit, and it's going to be incomplete as the receiver had to go up and play defense. And that's going to bring up fourth down with 3 seconds left to go. And Cumberland Gap, 2 consecutive drives on offense. They've shot themselves in the foot with penalties.
You're absolutely right. On that particular play there on third down and forever, Brunsma tried to go deep to Gage Ellison, and it was Dakota Smith with nice coverage, the safety, or the defensive back rather, for Wartburg to bat that ball away. And as you said, Ellison really just had to try and play defense to bat that one down. That's going to force the first punt of the football game.
So Cumberland Gap will punt this one. Wartburg has a receiver deep at his 36-yard line, not far from the first down marker. Good snap. Terrible kick. It's going to be a low liner, end over end, takes a bounce. And Cumberland Gap will down it at the Wartburg 46-yard line, and that's where we'll start the second quarter of action. We've played one here at Panther Field. Our score, it is Cumberland Gap 13. It is Wartburg 6.
Make K&K Metal Sales your only stop for all your residential and commercial metal building needs. For the past 23 years, K&K Metal Sales has covered the tri-state area with quality custom roofing and siding with many grades, gauges, and colors in stock. If you're looking for complete steel or wood building packages or steel or wood trusses, K&K Metal Sales can help with that, as well as heavy-duty custom carports. Great folks and great prices. Stop by K&K Metal Sales located at 6986 Cumberland Gap Parkway or call 423-869-4261.
Yesteryear Country Market is your destination for the finest and freshest foods in the tri-state area. Yesteryear features a variety of groceries, natural foods, and homemade desserts like their mudslide brownie and strawberry pudding. Yesteryear also has baked goods prepared fresh every day, such as their freshly baked breads sold by the loaf, or they can be put on a sandwich from their deli. Yesteryear Country Market, located at 1453 Highway 63 in Cumberland Gap.
Start of the second quarter, it's a Kankakee first down and 10 for Wartburg with 4 wide. Ball resting at their 45-yard line. It's going to be a delayed draw to the 45, to the 50, and getting inside Cumberland Gap territory on the run. Guess who? It's only number 10. Josh Moore. I almost called him Justin, but yeah, Josh Moore.
Yeah, a nice 5-yard gain on first down for Moore, with Wartburg having good field position. They're probably their best field position of the game so far to kick off the first quarter.
Second down.
Second quarter, rather.
Second down. Let's call it 5 yards to go. That'll be a handoff to Moore. Moore trying to reverse field, and Cumberland Gap will have him wrapped up and dropped for a loss back to the 47-yard line for a loss of 3.
As Moore trying to reverse the field, he was met by 2 Cumberland Gap defenders. It was the senior standout Caleb Franklin, along with, I believe, number 54 for Cumberland Gap being Wyatt Smith, that were on the coverage in the backfield. So nice job for Cumberland Gap. Now it's third down for Wartburg. We'll see what the Bulldogs do for one of their first third down and longs of the game.
One receiver to the left side, trips to the right. And quarterback's rolling, looking, hit, and sacked. Jeremiah Davis was warning. He looked first off into the flat where the trips was setting, pumped, wanted to go deep. Nobody was open, and he ends up taking the sack back at the 43-yard line for a loss of 4.
Yeah, you can give an assist to the Cumberland Gap defensive back unit for the Panthers, as, like you said, Davis really didn't have anywhere to throw the football, and because of that, he hits the turf.
Wartburg punts this one. Beautiful punt. And if you take it, Cumberland Gap picks it up at the 22 and thrown down at the 20-yard line. One of those times I think the receiver kind of wished he'd caught that one in the air.
Yeah, I think you're right. You know, letting the ball bounce, letting the defense gain a couple of extra seconds to bring the ball carrier down is, I believe it was Ellison for Cumberland Gap, who was brought down immediately. Good coverage from Wartburg. So now for Cumberland Gap, if you're the Bulldogs, the first 2 times you had the football, you had a very short field to go, and it resulted in 2 touchdowns. The last 2 drives, one with the short field, one with the long field to go, you were moving the ball, but then all of a sudden penalties really cost you. So for what DeLynn Klein really just said to his team in the huddle, just minimize those mistakes because they can move the football when they want to.
Ball in the near hash mark at the 20 for a Kankakee middle, first down and 10 for Cumberland Gap. Pistol formation. Man in motion from the left to the right. Handoff up the middle, bouncing off one like a pinball past the 25, getting close to the 30-yard line. I believe it's Mugridge.
And it was Mugridge. He is a straight-up bruiser as his helmet comes off at the end of the play, so he's going to have to go to the sideline to sit out one play as he's really saw contact with the defender, spun away from it, and then as he was being brought down, kind of just stiff on the defender, bowled his way in for a few extra yards. The yards after contact for the senior is astounding what he can do.
9 yards on the run brings up second down and 1. 2 receivers to either side. Pistol formation. Man in motion from the right to the left. Misdirection to the near side to the 30. To the 35, to the 40. Middle of the field to the 50. To the 45-40. This is a foot race that's not going to be won by the Bulldogs. To the 15, to the 10, to the 5. And you can put that one on the board. Touchdown, Cumberland Gap. As that was Gage Ellison from 71 yards out on a misdirection.
Yeah, DeLynn Klein opts to go for power on first down and speed on second down. And Ellison, off of the misdirection, beats the defense. The combination of the speed from Ellison and Upton is really hard to combat as a defensive unit and as a defensive coach, and it results in 6. And now Cumberland Gap feeling like, a little bit of more breathing room now, up by 2 scores.
This will be Neverstitch to have the attempt. He's let's call it 1 for 1 on the evening. He didn't actually get to attempt the first one. Snap. Down. The attempt by Neverstitch is up. The attempt by Neverstitch is good. Timeout of the field with 9:38 left to go here inside of the first half. Our new score, it is Cumberland Gap 20. It is Wartburg Central 6.
If you enjoy lakes, boating, mountains, and great food, you'll love Norris Landing Marina in Claiborne County, Tennessee. Located off Lone Mountain Road, Norris Landing Marina has these benefits for you. A 170-slip marina with seasonal rental slips, rental pontoon and pleasure boats, vacation cabins and cottages, a 23-space RV park, and Jimmy's Place Restaurant. Great food and casual dining in an on-the-water setting. Contact us and make the Norris Landing Marina your enjoyment destination.
It's the Old Town Grill.
The Old Town Grill is a special place where you bring more than family, more than friends. Bring a hearty appetite, because at the Old Town Grill, you'll never walk away hungry. A delicious change from the ordinary. The perfect place to bring the entire family. The best food and plenty of it. Join the fun and treat your appetite to something special.
It's the OTG.
The OTG is the place to be.
Cumberland Gap puts another 7 on the board on a scoring drive. It was 80 yards, 2 plays, 39 seconds off the clock. And they increase their lead now to 20-6. And that's the Panther offense we were used to seeing. We've seen it all night. That time they got out of their own way.
Yeah, when you're able to go 80 yards in only 2 plays, it's somewhat demoralizing for the defense, especially as the Bulldog defensive unit was able to hold Cumberland Gap, to no points the last 3 times out, and due to penalties on a couple of those occasions. But nonetheless, like you said, this is the Cumberland Gap offense that started off the football game.
Neverstitch kick will be returned from the 15 to the 20. Going to the far side, looking for some blocks to the 25, to the 30, and being eventually taken down around his ankles at about the 32-yard line. On the return was Michael Davis.
And with Davis returning his first kickoff of the game, that was nice, very nice blocking from Wartburg, as that was really just a few steps away from breaking away for a huge return for Wartburg. So now if you're the Bulldogs, for the Cumberland Gap defensive unit, they were able to get Wartburg off the field the last time out. And now for Wartburg, again, move the football with that balanced offensive attack.
It's a K&K Metal first down and 10, starting from the Bulldog 33-yard line. Quarterback drops, looks off into the flat. It is complete to the 37-yard line. On the reception was Boone Davidson, and he was standing wide open when he caught that.
Yeah, it sure was. As really, Davidson and Coach Human likes to drop the play to get it to number 3 in the short yardage passing situations. Wartburg hasn't really thrown one deep thus far, aiming to get smaller chunks of yardage, and a lot of those go to Davidson.
Second down and 6. 2 receivers off to either side. Again, pass off into the flat. Same play, far side. This time it is dropped. It was, I believe, Bailey Bunch over there on the far sideline drops it, but it was the same play, reverse side, and he was wide open as well.
Yeah, sure was. It seems that Coach Human has found a gap in Cumberland Gap's defense that they like, as they've gone with the same play twice, just on the opposite side of the field. Unfortunately for Wartburg, the pass hits Bunch and falls to the turf.
Third down and 7. Bulldogs are 1 for 3 on third down this evening. 4 wide as the quarterback drops back. Got to scramble up, feeling pressure, throws off. It's going to be incomplete as he was feeling pressure from behind, that being Jeremiah Davis. There was a receiver in the area, so it will not be intentional grounding to bring up fourth down.
As Boone Davidson stood on the opposite side of the field, holding his hands up, almost jumping up and down on that play, as again Davidson was wide open for Wartburg. However, Davis, the quarterback for the Bulldogs, just did not see the receiver, and they're going to have to force to be punt the ball away again.
Wartburg takes a timeout. We'll take it with them. 8:45 left to go first half. It's the Panthers leading the Bulldogs 20-6. No, each team's got 2. They called the first one.
You're right. Thank you. You guys are awesome. Keep it up.
That's a 30-second break, by the way.
He was wide open on the far sideline.
See, I didn't see him. I was watching the quarterback, but it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Back to Panther Field as we get ready for a fourth down and 6. Cumberland Gap trying to get the ball back here after another, if they could force Wartburg to punt this one. And Liv Wartburg will punt this one coming out of the timeout. Cumberland Gap's got a deep man dropping back near his 35-yard line. Nice snap. Wartburg punter walks right up into that one. It's going to be taken by the 31-yard line and being dropped again. Wartburg has got some excellent punt coverage, as that's 2 punts for the Bulldogs. No gain on the return.
And you can credit that one to number 16, Ethan Brodus, who wrestled Ellison down to the turf. As you mentioned, the punt there from Wartburg took a long time to develop, was nearly blocked but it ends up in the Bulldogs' favor as soon as Ellison took that punt, he was met immediately. Not a lot of room to work with. And now Cumberland Gap will take over again. And for the Wartburg defense, you can't allow the big plays. It was the big play that beat you on the last time out.
It's a K&K Metal first down and 10. Ball resting at the Cumberland Gap, let's call it 31-yard line. Man in motion from the right to the left. And this one's going to go up the middle for nothing. And the Panthers are going to be faced with second down.
And what was a busted play on first down for Cumberland Gap. There's been a lot of really bad snaps on the day so far, either low or either high. And for both teams, it's gone both ways as Brunsma had to kind of scoop that ball up off of the turf and just had no other choice but to run up the middle with it and ended up losing a couple of yards.
Had to bring up second down. Let's call it 12. Ball at the 30-yard line. One receiver to the left side, two to the right. Man in motion from the left to the right. Hand off to, nope, it's going to be a keeper. Brunsma runs the ball forward, and he'll bring the ball forward past the 35 to about the 39-yard line.
A great fake from Caden Brunsma as I had assumed that the ball had been handed off to the running back up the left side. And after that play was over, after Brunsma had hit the turf, the Wartburg defense may have gotten a little bit fortunate as a player fell on top of Brunsma. Could have been a late hit, not called by the official.
This will be third down for Cumberland Gap. This will be their first third down here of the second quarter. Third down, and let's call it almost 3. Handoff fullback up the middle. First down for the Panthers. I believe that was Mugridge once again just bullies his way forward to the 40. Let's call it the 43-yard line.
And when you only have a short yardage to go and you only got one chance to get it, there's no better option for Cumberland Gap than to go with Mugridge, the senior, as he goes right up the middle, nothing fancy, just hiding behind that offensive line. Well, I shouldn't say hiding. He's a big body. Just standing behind the offensive line and getting past the defense to move the chains.
Mugridge listed at 5'9", 185, if that tells you anything. It's a K&K Metal first down and 10. Two receivers left side, one to the right. Man in motion now from the right to the left. Handoff from the jet sweep coming to the near side to the 45 and being thrown down at the 50-yard line. We got some extracurriculars going on as on the run was Gage Ellison. Somebody tell Cumberland Gap this is not the Bulldogs, it's your rivals.
Yeah, that's right. It's the Wartburg Bulldogs as Jeb York for the visitors made the tackle on Gage Ellison. And as you mentioned, a little bit of pushing and shoving going on after the play's over. But Cumberland Gap again moving the ball at will.
7 yards on the run brings up second down and 3 ball in the near hash mark. Two receivers to the right side, one to the left. This is going to be Brunsma. Gets tripped up at the line, dives forward, close to the first down marker at the 47-yard line. We'll wait and see if they'll want to measure this or just call it third.
Well, nonetheless, it was a fantastic tackle from Wartburg on what was the quarterback run from Brunsma for the Bulldog defender to trip up Brunsma at the last second. They are going to give Cumberland Gap the first down.
It will be a K&K Metal first down and 10 now for the Panthers in Wartburg territory at the Bulldog 47-yard line on the near hash mark.
Seems as if Cumberland Gap's going to take a little breather here before this play as they've been going pretty fast.
6:09 left to go here inside of the first half, and that's counting. Two receivers to the left side, two to the right. Pistol formation for Brunsma. Sends a man in motion from the left to the right. It's going to be a jet sweep to the 40, to the 35, to the 30, to the 25, to the 20, trying to get to the corner, to the 10, to the 5. He'll dive for the pylon. Did he get there? He did there. Touchdown, Cumberland Gap, as this was Jason Upton, who was coming on the jet sweep to the right side, reverses back to the middle to the left side, dives from the pylon, and gets in the end zone on a 47-yard run.
And a perfect execution by Cumberland Gap as there were several Wartburg defenders who had no clue who had the football, and it was number 7, one of the fastest players, if not the fastest player on the field, in Jason Upton to outrun the secondary in the foot race, and that's bad news for the defensive backs when number 7 gets into the open field.
It was such a good fake, I didn't even really know who had the ball at first. Never stitch on for the attempt, snap down, the attempt is up, and I believe the attempt is blocked a little bit, and it will go no good. But with 5:44 left to go first half, take you to our new score into this timeout. It is the Panthers 26. It's the Wartburg Bulldogs 6.
Make K&K Metal Sales your only stop for all your residential and commercial metal building needs. For the past 23 years, K&K Metal Sales has covered the tri-state area with quality custom roofing and siding with many grades, gauges, and colors in stock. If you're looking for complete steel or wood building packages or steel or wood trusses, K&K Metal Sales can help with that, as well as heavy-duty custom carports. Great folks and great prices. Stop by K&K Metal Sales located at 6986 Cumberland Gap Parkway or call 423-869-4261.
Yesteryear Country Market is your destination for the finest and freshest foods in the tri-state area. Yesteryear features a variety of groceries, natural foods, and homemade desserts like their mudslide brownie and strawberry pudding. Yesteryear also has baked goods prepared fresh every day, such as their freshly baked breads sold by the loaf, or they can be put on a sandwich from their deli. Yesteryear Country Market, located at 1453 Highway 63 in Cumberland Gap.
Cumberland Gap just scores on a 6-play drive. That takes 2:53 off the clock. They went 68 yards, and they have opened up against Wartburg here. It is now 26-6 as the PAT. I'm just going to call it. That was blocked.
Yeah, it was blocked by the Wartburg defense, and that's happened really several times. That's the fourth time that Cumberland Gap has gotten into the end zone, and the special teams unit for Wartburg is really, they've had nice pursuit on those punts, and they got to it on the PAT.
Neverstitch will put the toe to leather once again. He's had good kickoffs all night. This time he overkicks Wartburg. And that one takes about 1 yard into the end zone before it dies. Wartburg's got to be careful there because if that dies the one, that's a live football.
Yeah, absolutely right. It's like you said, it bounced and died just a yard into the end zone. As we all know, that Neverstitch for Cumberland Gap's got one heck of a leg, and I think that the Wartburg special teams there, the returners just assumed it was deeper than it really was. And again, avoiding disaster for Wartburg.
So the Bulldogs will start with a Kane Medal first down and 10. Ball racing at their 20-yard line. They'll send two receivers to the right side. Man in motion now from the left to the right. It's going to be a jet sweep of their own to the 20. Avoiding the first tackler, past the 25. Still on his feet, past the 30, past the 35, and twinkle toeing down the near sideline. As on the run was number 22, Dakota Smith. And he'll bring the ball forward all the way to the 38-yard line. What a huge run.
Possibly the most impressive run of the game from Wartburg, able to break a tackle from a pursuing Caleb Franklin and then to tiptoe the sidelines for several extra yards. Tremendous play by Smith, and Wartburg now with some nice breathing room to get the drive started.
Two receivers to the right side, one to the left. Quarterback is in the gun with a back to his right side. Man in motion now from the left to the right. It's going to be play action. Here comes the option. And the quarterback's going to run the ball forward to the 40, to about the 42, 43-yard line. As that was actually Josh Moore that was actually back there in a wildcat formation.
Yeah, nice lineup there for Wartburg to give Moore the snap, and it looks like that's what they're going to do again. He made his piece in there as a straight-up QB for this drive, and I think that's the case.
One receiver to the left side, two to the right. Man in motion now from the left to the right. So Moore again. He's got the option. This time he'll pitch out to the 40, and Cumberland Gap will stop it. And with Moore being in the quarterback position, I'm trying to see who the running back is. Now, it looks like it's going to be number 5, Michael Davis, who will have to check out of the lineup.
Well, there's Davises everywhere for the.
I was looking. There's 3 Davises and a Davidson on this roster.
Yeah, a lot of Davis and Davidsons for the Wartburg offense, but that is a textbook example of how you defend the option, as Cumberland Gap really had that snuffed both ways to force the third down and long.
3rd down and 8 now for the Bulldogs. They're going to start with 2 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left. Man in motion now from the left to the right. It's going to be a jet sweep to the near side, reversing back to the middle of the field, to the 40, to the 45, far sideline to the 50. Gets the first down, still on his feet to the 45, to the 40, making Panthers miss left and right to the 35-yard line. On this run, bouncing around like a video game, it was Dakota Smith.
And that's the second, like you said, the second video game-like play from Dakota Smith on this drive, making some moves. It's like a highlight reel. Really turning nothing into something, and by something, I mean a huge gain up the sideline again. What a great play from Smith to keep the drive alive.
25 yards on the run, sets up a Kane, came out on 1st down and 10 for Wartburg. 2 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left. Pistol, now they're going to reset the formation here. They're going to send 2 receivers to the right side, now 2 to the left. Shotgun with a back to the left side. It's going to be a quick pass off to the left side, out to the 35, and inside the 35 to about the 34-yard line. As this time on the throw was Tyler Davis.
Yeah, it's another Davis throwing the ball, not Jeremiah. This time it's Tyler for Wartburg as the third player that's lined up at quarterback for Wartburg, possibly on this drive alone.
2 yards brings up 2nd down and 8. Receiver over on the near side got away with it. It's going to be a handoff up the middle to the 30. And stretching forth near the 25-yard line on the run was Josh Moore.
And if you're the Cumberland Gap defense, you really had the Wartburg offensive unit bottled up some 30 yards ago, and he really had it to a third down and long situation, but because of the huge run from Dakota Smith, Wartburg now has a very decent position to score here.
So Kane came out of first down and 10 at the Panther 26. This is going to be another handoff. Nope, quarterback kept it this time. This is Davis. Throws off. He's got a wide open receiver to the 10, to the 5, and he can walk into the end zone. Touchdown, Wartburg. There is a flag on the play. Kind of wonder if we had an illegal receiver downfield because the lineman had to push down, and that's exactly what it's going to be. But by the time that play developed, the linemen were already down the field. Great play by Wartburg. What a heads-up look by Tyler Davis, who was the quarterback at that time. But his linemen were too far down the field for that one.
And another case, another scenario in this matchup is they're really kind of channeling the first quarter version of Cumberland Gap with those huge plays that were negated by some penalties. As one of the first penalties of the game, though, for Wartburg.
It's the first penalty.
Yeah, I started to say I couldn't remember the last time that the Bulldogs had a penalty in the game because that was their first one.
It's a Kane, came out on first down and 15. Trips to the right side. Shotgun formation, this is Davis. He's going to send, dropping back, looking, throws off down to the middle of the field. It's going to be a jump pass. It's going to be complete at the 10-yard line as Wartburg just went up for that one, almost Hail Mary style. And it will come down off into the hands, I believe it was Jesse Melhorn.
Well, possibly what was an ill-advised throw there for Wartburg to really throw the ball into a sea of bodies there inside the 10-yard line, but luckily Jesse Melhorn was able to go up and get it, use his tall frame to make his second high grab of the contest.
It's a Kane, came out first down and goal to go for Wartburg. Ball resting at the 8. One receiver to the left side, 2 to the right. Man in motion now from the left to the right. Davis. Hands off on the jet sweep, coming to the near side to the 10, and getting near back to the line of scrimmage. We'll wait and see. That's
Dakota Smith,
22.
I believe. Although I'm not sure if that's Dakota Smith. I mean, earlier on in the drive, it didn't look like it was Dakota Smith unless, he was bottled up behind the line of scrimmage, but then broke some tackles for a huge gain. As nonetheless, Cumberland Gap was finally able to stop number 22 on that occasion.
Second down and goal for Wartburg. 2 receivers right side, 1 to the left. This is going to be a handoff to Moore up the middle, and Cumberland Gap's going to have this stopped and popped. They might give Moore 1 yard, but it's going to bring up third down.
And what could be the first time of this drive that the Cumberland Gap defense really stops the run immediately in consecutive plays. As even though there's a short field for Wartburg, that gives Cumberland Gap more room to have more bodies in one spot.
2.5 minutes and counting left to go first half. This is third down and goal for Wartburg. It's going to be a option. Moore pitches back, and it's going to be fumbled. And Wartburg just does fall on this, but way back at the 21-yard line. An ill-advised pitch. And Wartburg is going to have to call a timeout to discuss this one. It'll be fourth down and long, fourth down and goal. We'll take it with them. 2:05 left to go first half. Our score, it is the Panthers 26. It's the Bulldogs 6.
If you enjoy lakes, boating, mountains, and great food, you'll love Norris Landing Marina in Claiborne County, Tennessee. Located off Lone Mountain Road, Norris Landing Marina has these benefits for you. A 170-slip marina with seasonal rental slips, rental pontoon and pleasure boats, vacation cabins and cottages, a 23-space RV park, and Jimmy's Place Restaurant. Great food and casual dining in an on-the-water setting. Contact us and make the Norris Landing Marina your enjoyment destination.
It's the Old Town Grill.
The Old Town Grill is a special place where you bring more than family, more than friends. Bring a hearty appetite, because at the Old Town Grill, you'll never walk away hungry. A delicious change from the ordinary. The perfect place to bring the entire family. The best food and plenty of it. Join the fun and treat your appetite to something special.
It's the OTG.
The OTG is the place to be.
As we welcome you back to Cumberland Gap High School, we have 2:06 left to go here inside of the first half. Wartburg just took their second timeout of this half as they're going to be faced with fourth down and goal. The ball setting at their 21-yard line.
And Wartburg is going to try and go for this one.
I think you have to at this point.
I think I agree with you.
One receiver to the right side, 2 to the right. Shotgun formation with a back to the left side. Quarterback drops, steps up in the pocket, throws off into the middle. Double coverage. Incomplete. incomplete. I believe it was thrown up toward Melhorn once again. Melhorn looks like he stands over 6 foot tall. I throw at him every time too.
Yeah, it was a nice decision. I mean, Melhorn stands at least a helmet above every other defender in the end zone, and it was a nice job by the defensive unit of Cumberland Gap to surround Melhorn and make sure that ball hits the turf, because Melhorn did, tried to go over top of the receivers once again and nearly came down with it, and that's got to be pretty deflating, though, to that Wartburg offensive unit to be able to drive so far again and come up empty-handed. And, now as we're under 2 minutes to go during halftime, remember Cumberland Gap will get the ball to start the second half off of that opening kickoff fumble from Wartburg.
It'll be a K&K Metal first down and 10. Ball resting at the Cumberland Gap 21-yard line. 2 receivers to the left side, 2 to the right. Man in motion now from the right to the left. Brunsma rolls off, looks off into the flat. He's got a receiver there. It's complete to the 30. Being taken down at the 34-yard line. As that was Upton, and Upton is slow to get up as he's at the 35-yard line for a gain of 14.
Upton limps towards the sideline after the nice catch and run there as he was tackled from behind.
And I'll bring up another K&K Metal first down and 10, this time at the 35-yard line of Cumberland Gap. They do still have 2 timeouts remaining as the ball's on the near hash mark. 2 receivers to the left side, 2 to the right. Pistol formation once again for Brunsma. Sends the man in motion from the left to the right. They'll fake the jet sweep. Brunsma throws off, and it's going to be somehow complete to the 40, to the 35-30, 25-20, 15-10-5. You got to be kidding me. Touchdown, Cumberland Gap. Brandon, I'm going to ask you a simple question. How did he catch that in triple coverage?
Adam, that was the same exact question I was just about to ask you myself. We may be sitting here all night trying to think of how that ball got through the defensive unit and into the hands of Ellison. Somehow, like you said, somehow that pass fell through. By all means, what should have been an interception from Wartburg, or at least a batted down pass, ends up going 6 points the other way.
Ellison goes up in triple coverage, pulls that down, and then outruns the defense.
And that's not an understatement either, just bona fide triple coverage.
Neverstitches have the attempt. Neverstitch's attempt is up and good. Time out of the field with 1:22 left to go. We'll take it with them. Our new score. It is the Cumberland Gap Panthers 33. It's the Wartburg Central Bulldogs 6.
Yesteryear Country Market is your destination for the finest and freshest foods in the tri-state area. Yesteryear features a variety of groceries, natural foods, and homemade desserts like their mudslide brownie and strawberry pudding. Yesteryear also has baked goods prepared fresh every day, such as their freshly baked breads sold by the loaf, or they can be put on a sandwich from their deli. Yesteryear Country Market, located at 1453 Highway 63 in Cumberland Gap.
Make K&K Metal Sales your only stop for all your residential and commercial metal building needs. For the past 23 years, K&K Metal Sales has covered the tri-state area with quality custom roofing and siding with many grades, gauges, and colors in stock. If you're looking for complete steel or wood building packages or steel or wood trusses, K&K Metal Sales can help with that, as well as heavy-duty custom carports. Great folks and great prices. Stop by K&K Metal Sales located at 6986 Cumberland Gap Parkway or call 423-869-4261.
We have 1:22 remaining here inside of the first half. And quickly, Wartburg Central has found themselves in a hole. They trail Cumberland Gap 33-6. That last scoring drive, 2 plays, 79 yards, took 35 seconds off the clock. On an amazing pass completion from Brunsma off into the hands of Ellison. And I still don't know how he caught that in triple coverage and then outran the defense.
Yeah, and like I said before the break, I think we could sit here all night and ponder and wonder how that pass got through and how Ellison was able to outrun the secondary. And nonetheless, the Gap has all of a sudden blown this thing wide open.
Neverstitch with a nice kickoff. Be taken from the 15-yard line to the 20. Now trying to reverse field to the 25. And Wartburg now back to the middle of the field to the 30. And finally being taken down to about the 31-yard line. So for the Bulldogs, we'll start with a K&K Metal first down and 10 with 1:14 left to go inside of the first half and 1 timeout.
And now if you're the Wartburg offense with 1 timeout for the Bulldogs, you've got to think that you can get to the end zone as they've been able to move the ball, but they just haven't been able to finish those drives. And the last drive was an example of that off of a couple of penalties. Actually, the first penalty of the game for Wartburg that denied the Bulldogs the end zone.
4 wide, 2 off to either side. Shotgun formation for the Bulldogs. This is going to be, well, the quarterback rolling off to the right side is Davis. Davis looking. He's got all kinds of time. Now he feels the pressure, throws off, and it's going to be incomplete. Jeremiah Davis took forever on that play. He took 10 seconds.
Yeah, I don't think I can remember the last time I saw a quarterback stay in the pocket for as long as Davis did, or at least roll out for as long as Davis did. As the coverage again from Cumberland Gap, very solid, not allowing any of the Wartburg receivers to get through, and forces the incompletion.
2nd down and 10. 2 receivers to the either side. Shotgun formation once again. This is Davis looking. He's going to step up in the pocket. Pump fakes. Now he's going to roll off to the left side. Stops. Now he's going to run again. And now he's eventually going to be sacked back at the 20-yard line. Davis is trying to make something with his feet and try to keep the play alive and just cannot do so. And we have a timeout taken by Wartburg. So a loss of 10 will set up 3rd down and 20, as that was Wartburg's 3rd and final timeout. And I'm kind of surprised they took that one. So I kind of thought on 3rd down, you get 3rd and 20, just let that clock run, make Cumberland Gap spin the timeout.
Yeah, and I think with the Bulldogs, if you go back to that last play in the sack, Wartburg looking to gain a huge chunk of yardage, just looking to throw a bomb. I think that's why Jeremiah Davis, the last 2 plays, was scrambling for so long, looking for the home run ball, and it ended up costing him. It ended up really taking, a significant amount of time off the clock for each play. And now, as you said, Wartburg having to spend their final timeout of the half with 46 seconds remaining.
So it'll be 3rd down. Let's call it 20 yards to go. At the halftime break, we'll catch you up on scores from around East Tennessee. But here's 3rd down and 20. 2 receivers to either side. Shotgun formation for the Bulldogs. Quarterback drops, passes the fade off to the top side. It's going to be a jump ball, and it's going to be complete to the receiver. That's Boone Davidson here in front of us. He catches at the 43. He went up so far for that one. I think he knocked the breath out of himself. But on 3rd down and long, they get 21, and they convert it.
Yeah, and it was really a one-on-one battle between Boone Davidson and Caleb Franklin. Davidson was somehow able to come down with it. However, he's still shaking up on the play.
22 yards on the pass completion. And like I said, I think he just knocked the wind out of him because he went up high.
Yeah.
And we've seen the Wartburg receivers all go up high for these. All right, I've kind of used the analogy before, going up the elevator shaft. They're going up about 2 or 3 floors every time they jump.
Yeah, and it was a receiver that went up high to grab the football that was not number 18. It wasn't Jesse Melhorn. I think Melhorn's had an influence on the team for the receivers to go up high and get those pass attempts. But a nice play on 3rd down for Wartburg to, convert the chains and make it 1st down.
We're going to go over, as we said, scores from around East Tennessee and other things at halftime. But here's your one from inside the region. They're at the break. Rockwood and Oneida are tied at 7.
Wow.
So that's a huge score when it comes to looking at the regional race here. Meigs County on top of Cumberland County 14-0, but that's an out-of-region contest. If Oneida was to fall tonight, they can still potentially win the region. But if Rockwood beats Oneida, that's just going to jumble it up even more in the middle for 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah, no doubt. and I think that tends to happen now. Late season, it's just chaos within the division. Teams win games that they necessarily weren't supposed to on paper, and that could be the case there.
Here's a Kane, came out of 1st down and 10. 2 receivers off to either side. Shotgun formation. Quarterback drops, looks, feels pressure, just throws off of his back foot. It's up in the air, and it's complete as the receiver just goes up and gets it. Back to the 40-yard line. Was that number 10, Josh Moore, or was it 18?
It was number 18.
18, Melhorn.
Jesse Melhorn, yeah, it was. Melhorn going up and getting it again. I'm telling you, if I was Coach Human for Wartburg, I'd be throwing that ball, especially on this particular drive, trying to get in the end zone late. I would throw it up to 18 every time, every trip down.
Another Kane came out of 1st down and 10 with 4 wide. Davis once again throws off to the left side. He's got him wide open, and he's going to lose the ball at the very end, as I believe that was intended for Tyler Davis.
As nice coverage from Cumberland Gap's Caleb Franklin again, as I've said his name plenty of times tonight. He's made several nice plays on special teams and at the defensive back position. And that stops the clock with 15 seconds to go. 2nd
down and 10. 2 receivers off to either side. Wartburg out of timeouts. Pretty much has to go for the end zone here. And we have a stoppage. I believe we're going to get a false start. And we are going to get a false start against Wartburg. Watch the slot receiver, especially on the near side. He keeps jumping almost on every play.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail right on the head there with the slot receiver, as we've seen a few of those occasions already in this game with some of those receivers moving before the snap. We saw an illegal shift as well earlier in the contest.
Second down, 15, 4 wide again for the Bulldogs. This is going to be a drop, looking off left side, feeling pressure, and Cumberland Gap, nope, ball gets off. It's completed to the 40, to the 45, I should say, to the 30, to the 25, and finally being taken down on the far sideline. Some weird plays right now as the quarterback, Davis, just throws that off of his back foot as he's getting taken down. And I believe he got it off to Dakota Smith. Oh, was it number 3?
I was saying 3 seconds.
3 seconds left to go. Okay.
Yeah. Well, it was unbelievable pass from Davis, falling to the ground, kind of just sidearmed it as he was being sacked, and somehow was a perfect placement of the pass right to Smith.
Kane came out of first down and 10 to the 24-yard line with 3 seconds left to go. One receiver to the right side, trips to the left, shotgun formation. This is Jeremiah Davis looking. He's going to have to wait for his receivers to get to the end zone. Throws it up into the corner. Incomplete, bouncing off the defender. And Cumberland Gap's defense can take a sigh of relief as they get away with this one. We played one half here at Panther Field. Our halftime score, it is Cumberland Gap 33. It is Wartburg 6. Folks, stay tuned. Halftime festivities right after this here on the LMU Sports Network.
If you enjoy lakes, boating, mountains, and great food, you'll love Norris Landing Marina in Claiborne County, Tennessee. Located off Lone Mountain Road, Norris Landing Marina has these benefits for you. A 170-slip marina with seasonal rental slips, rental pontoon and pleasure boats, vacation cabins and cottages, a 23-space RV park, and Jimmy's Place restaurant. Great food and casual dining in an on-the-water setting. Contact us and make the Norris Landing Marina your enjoyment destination.
It's the Old Town Grill.
The Old Town Grill is a special place where you bring more than family, more than friends. Bring a hearty appetite, because at the Old Town Grill, you'll never walk away hungry. A delicious change from the ordinary. The perfect place to bring the entire family. The best food and plenty of it. Join the fun and treat your appetite to something special.
It's the OTG.
The OTG is the place to be.
But nevertheless, kicking the ball off for Wartburg will be Boone Davidson. Cumberland Gap has 2 receivers back to their 17-yard line. And Davidson will get the second half started here. Short kick, squibbed, picked up at the 30-yard line. To the 35, to the 40. And Cumberland Gap will start with decent field position inside the 40 as they'll start from their 44-yard line where the Kane came out on first down and 10.
Interesting development for Wartburg to go with the squib kick there to open up the second half. And that gives Cumberland Gap pretty decent field position. And really, when the Panthers have not found the end zone, and when they've been able to, or when they have found the end zone rather, it's because they limited those mistakes that they had those penalties. They've not had a turnover thus far in the contest. And really, when they can get this machine going, their offensive attack, the Wartburg defense, it's hard for them to stop them.
It's a Kane came out on first down and 10 from the 43. Man in motion. It's going to be a handoff to the right side, to the 45, to the 50, to the 45. Mugridge bouncing off people. Takes a hit at the 40-yard line, but actually sends the defender back 3 yards. And Mugridge gets a huge run on first down into Wartburg territory for the Kane came out on first down.
That's something that you do not want from a defensive standpoint, that Matt Mugridge gets a whole half to rest and be able to come up with powerful runs like that. As you mentioned, I guess technically that goes as a tackle for the Wartburg defender. However, he was down on the seat of his pants just like Mugridge was.
Ball the far hash mark. Kane came out on first down and 10 from the 42. This is the quarterback keeping himself, this time to the 39-yard line, to give that run to Brunsma for a gain of right at 2.
Interesting design run for Brunsma to go up the middle. As head coach DeLynn Klein, as the Panthers have built up a big lead here in the second half, it's an interesting opportunity for Cumberland Gap to maybe try and mix up the offense a little bit, maybe play around with some new play calling opportunities that they've not had thus far in the season.
Second down, let's call it 8. Ball, I guess, was set on the far hash mark at the Wartburg 39-yard line. 2 receiver to the left side, 2 to the right. Pistol formation for Brunsma. Man in motion from the right to the left. Jet sweep coming to the near side of the 40 to the 35. And bringing the ball forward to past the 30 to about the 29-yard line is the Panthers.
It was Ellison.
It was Ellison,
yeah.
And that'll be good enough for the Kane. Came out on first down and 10.
I don't think I'd ever seen the amount of power from Gage Ellison thus far in this season, as the senior really, the speed is his biggest asset to his rushing abilities, but he was able to really carry a few defenders with him on that play.
It's a K&K Metal first down and 10, ball resting at the Bulldog 30-yard line. Two receivers to the right side, man in motion now from the left to the right, handoff up the middle, and past the 25 to the 20 to the 15 to the 10 to the 5, going for the corner of the end zone, not getting there, getting down to the 1-yard line.
And that's Keaton Cornett on the run, number 9. That's his first carry of the ball game, to my knowledge, and what a run it was, spinning past the defender. Cumberland Gap in this game, I think more than any other on the season, has excelled with yards after contact, and Cornett getting his first carry of the game was a huge example of that, breaking several tackles.
One receiver to the right side on the 1-yard line, handoff up the middle. I believe it's Cornett again on the run. Do they give it to him? They do. Touchdown, Cumberland Gap. So the Panthers score from 1 yard out. And the Panthers once again rolling. As we have an injured Bulldog on the field, but with 10:07 on the clock, it is now a 33-point advantage with the extra point pending. We have one Bulldog down on the field. I thought it was kind of appropriate. I don't know if you heard it or not. On that long, that 29-yard run by Cornett, he was pushing people. He was stiff-arming and slamming them off. I swear I heard a train whistle in the distance. It was like the train was coming down the tracks and you didn't want to be on the tracks.
Yeah, it was like it was symbolic almost. It really, I think that's a good assessment of the drive, as Wartburg has really, their downfall defensively in this game was giving up the big play, not allowing it to be, really a consistent, a long, methodical drive with just, 4 or 5 yards, 6 yards every play, getting beat with the huge plays, getting beat with the 20-yard, 30-yard runs, and it cost him on that drive, not only from Matt Mugridge, but also from the senior Keaton Cornett.
Cornett stands, is listed at 5'7", 170. Mugridge, 5'9", 185. Either way, that is two brutes I'm not going to stand in the middle of and try to take down the way Wartburg had to on that drive.
And interesting that Cornett got his first carry of the contest on that drive, as he's just as big of a bruiser as Matt Mugridge is. So for Cumberland Gap, you've got a lot of options when you hand the football off on the ground and pound, with emphasis on the pound, as the Panthers really, they've got, as I mentioned, they've got a lot of weapons in their rushing game.
The injured Bulldog is up and will have to be helped off to the sideline. Cumberland Gap will have the PAT attempt coming out of this injury stoppage. We were talking to, I think I was talking to one of the film guys for Wartburg. He was pointing out in the pregame, he said, "You see all them players sitting over on the sideline?" I said, "Yeah." They were all injured. I think he said they lost 3 or 4 last week when they were taking on Sunbright. Said he was, we were kind of joking, Coach is going to send up the roster in a mass unit. That's just the way Wartburg's season has went so far this year for him.
And sometimes, the injury bug bites, and it comes with a vengeance, as, that's sometimes just part of the game. Obviously, football is a very grueling sport. You see a lot of injuries with a lot of contact. And like you said, that's just the way that the season has fallen there for Wartburg, with the injured player for the Bulldogs off the touchdown pass. Looks like it's something on the lower body, as now Cumberland Gap heads off for the PAT.
Again, we're keeping an eye on the Oneida Rockwood game. It's the only other regional contest here in Region 2. And it's still 7-7 at the break, or at least that's the last update we have. As we get ready for this extra point, it'll be Neverstitch to have the attempt. Take that back. Cumberland Gap's going to go for 2. 2 receivers to the left side. 1 to the right. Pistol formation for the Panthers as they go for 2. Man in motion from the right to the left. Handoff up the middle. I'm not even sure he ever got touched. The 2-point conversion is good. Time out of the field. 10:07 left to go, third quarter. Our new score, it is Cumberland Gap 41. It is Wartburg Central 6.
Yesteryear Country Market is your destination for the finest and freshest foods in the tri-state area. Yesteryear features a variety of groceries, natural foods, and homemade desserts like their mudslide brownie and strawberry pudding. Yesteryear also has baked goods prepared fresh every day, such as their freshly baked breads sold by the loaf, or they can be put on a sandwich from their deli. Yesteryear Country Market, located at 1453 Highway 63 in Cumberland Gap.
Make K&K Metal Sales your only stop for all your residential and commercial metal building needs. For the past 23 years, K&K Metal Sales has covered the tri-state area with quality custom roofing and siding with many grades, gauges, and colors in stock. If you're looking for complete steel or wood building packages or steel or wood trusses, K&K Metal Sales can help with that, as well as heavy-duty custom carports. Great folks and great prices. Stop by K&K Metal Sales located at 6986 Cumberland Gap Parkway or call 423-869-4261.
Back out to Cumberland Gap High School with 10:07 left to go. That last drive for Cumberland Gap, 5 plays, 57 yards, 1:53 off the clock. And the Panthers now lead this one 41-6. And with a 35-point deficit, the clock will run on the kickoff and will run continuously until Wartburg can get it back down to within 35.
And it's got to be really kind of, for the Wartburg defenses, they had a nice start to the contest after the opening 2 touchdowns from Cumberland Gap. The defense was able to hold the Panthers for a little while, but eventually those big plays just took over for the Panthers.
Neverstitch will put this one in the air, and Wartburg will take it from the 12 to the 15. This is to the 20 to the far side. And running with the football out near the 30-yard line on the run was number 10, Josh Moore. And now the Bulldogs will have first down and 10. It's a K&K Metal first down and 10. As we said, the clock is running. It's a 35-point deficit. And the ball resting at the Wartburg. They've yet to spot it at the Wartburg 29-yard line. 2 receiver to the right side, 2 to the left. Shotgun formation for the Bulldogs. Option play. Pitch out to the near side. It's a fumble. And picked up and taken down back near the 16-yard line is Wartburg, as it ended up being Moore that had to pick it up.
And another miscommunication there in the pitch when it's, both Wartburg and Cumberland Gap, but more specifically Wartburg, they've had some problems with the snap on the day, having some fumbles in that situation, and on that occasion, they had another problem with the pitch as the pitch hits the turf, and it was another near turnover.
Second down, and let's call it 16. 4 wide again for the Bulldogs. Handoff up the middle. Moore just dragging defenders. And he's eventually going to be wrapped down at the 21-yard line for a gain of 5.
Unbelievable run from Moore. As you said, dragging defenders, still fighting, still playing like it's the opening drive of the game for Moore. And what an effort to not give up and drag some defenders with him.
Third down and long. One receiver left side, trips to the right. Wartburg looking. Davis is just looking, throws off into the flat. It's going to be complete to the near side. And eventually taken down at the 35-yard line. As on that catch was Melhorn.
A nice high arcing throw from Davis that immediately found the arms of the receiver for the first down conversion. And again, Wartburg moving the football. As I mentioned, the Bulldogs have gained several first downs here and has been able to mix up their play calling, but they just can't finish, drives. As I'm actually corrected here, it's actually 4th down, and they're going to punt the ball away.
It's going to be 4th down for Wartburg, and they're just going to punt this one away. If you're a Bulldog fan, you've got weapons on offense. Unfortunately, like tonight, the 3 turnovers and playing behind the chains has really affected you, as this punt was nearly blocked. And will eventually take a huge Wartburg roll and be downed inside the 20 near the 17-yard line. That's where the Panthers will start with a K&K Metal first down and 10. 7:12 in counting left to go here inside of the third quarter. Panthers lead this one 41-6.
And now again with Cumberland Gap's second drive of the second half, coming off of the long touchdown run, or it wasn't a long touchdown run, it was long runs that set up that short touchdown on the past drive for Cumberland Gap. And the Panthers, again, what seems to be a victory in sight for Cumberland Gap. And we mentioned in the pregame how important this game was, how important this regional victory was. Should Cumberland Gap come away with the win, it looks like they're going to get it.
Panthers will eventually come off the sideline. It's a Kane Camino first down and 10, as we said, at their 17-yard line. 2 receivers to the left side, 1 to the right. Pistol formation. Handoff up the middle. And I believe it's going to be Cornett bringing the ball forward to the 18 for a gain of 1.
And again with Cornett in the carry up the middle as that clock keeps running, as in the mercy rule, runs no matter the play call, no matter the play selection. For Cumberland Gap, again, they needed this victory in the worst way in the preseason as they were 0-2 in regional play. It looks like they're going to grab that first regional win, which is so key here as the playoffs approach here in the next few weeks.
Second down at 8. Again, 2 receivers left side, 1 to the right. Handoff up the middle to the 30, near the 30-yard line. That's going to bring up third down. As Cornett, once again, he's getting the bulk of the runs here. Ball be spotted at the 26-yard line.
There was some more extracurricular activity in the secondary after the end of that run. Got to be careful here for both sides to not get any unnecessary penalties.
Third down and 1 for Cumberland Gap. 1 receiver to the right side. Handoff up the middle. Cumberland Gap is going to be close. Forward progress to the 28-yard line. Should be good enough for a first down. And it will be a first down and 10 for Cumberland Gap. Another Kane Camino first down on a 2-yard run. The ball now resting at the Panther 28-yard line. Again, the clock is running. We're at 4:45 and counting now left to go third quarter. Panthers lead this one 41-6. Score of interest, Johnson County now leads Claiborne 27-0. Ball in the far hash mark at the Panther 28. 1 receiver to the right. Make that 2 receiver to the right side. 1 to the left. Man in motion from the left to the right. Handoff up the middle. Getting past the 30 to the 31-yard line. And looking down the line, looks like number 14, Logan Miracle.
And that's what it was. Again,
Miracle.
Yeah.
I think it usually depends on where you're at, how you pronounce that.
Sure, as the sophomore running back gets what would be his first carry of the ball game. And now when you have the mercy rule, when you have the blowout opportunity, I mentioned again, Dylan Klein has several opportunities to give the ball and give some playing time to players that hadn't necessarily had it.
Second down and 7. This is a handoff up the middle. And Wartburg's there to guard this one well to the 33-yard line for a gain of 2.
Again,
it was
Miracle.
I'm going to say Miracle. my wife's family are Miracles. That was her maiden name, so I'm going to go with Miracle on this one. And if Logan's family, if I'm mispronouncing that, I'll take the blame for it. Just correct me a little bit later, and we'll get that corrected. It's third down and 5. 2 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left. 1 in the left is man in motion. This is going to be the quarterback keeping himself to the 35, to the 40, 45-50, 45-40, 35-30, 25-20. Does Brunsma have enough to the 15? Get caught down from behind inside the 10, near the 5-yard line.
Nice run from Brunsma, the sophomore. You got to remember, too, that Brunsma is only in his second year of high school football and made the nice decision there on the quarterback run up the middle to gain a huge chunk of yardage. Was brought down by the secondary. The Wartburg defensive back had a little bit of speed on him, and as such, he doesn't get into the end zone quite yet, but you got to believe Cumberland Gap will try to get in the end zone in the next couple plays, as I see on the sideline the players carrying Brunsma in celebration of that nice run.
51 yards on the run, sets it at the 6-yard line for a Kane Camino first down and goal to go.
Brunsma might be done for the game.
2 receiver to the left side, 1 to the right. Pistol formation. Bobbled snap, and Cumberland Gap will have to fall on this one at the 7.
As we try to see who the...
I'm not really sure who the backup quarterback is.
Yeah, trying to see who the QB is for Cumberland Gap. I think it was 18 for the Panthers, which is Miles Cole, possibly.
Is that 18 or 16?
I believe it's an 18. Nonetheless, his first snap was a near turnover, another miscommunication in the backfield.
Second down, goal to go. One receiver, make it two receivers to the left side, one to the right. Handoff up the middle, going off to the right side. And Miracle gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Cumberland Gap.
And now that lead gets even bigger for Cumberland Gap. Again, it was the highlight of the drive was the big play, the big run up the middle from the quarterback, Brunsma. And it results in 6 more points for the Panthers.
And Cumberland Gap's going to go for 2 here. 1:13 in counting. It's 47-6 in favor of the Panthers. We are in runoff time. And the Panthers will go for 2. Wing off to either side, ace backfield. Hand off, and not getting in was the running back. So the clock will... I thought the clock stopped on the score, but I guess not. The clock will run. We'll take the break. 45 seconds and counting. You know what? Let's just keep it right here because this is getting ready to be the end of the third. So it's 47-6 in favor of Cumberland Gap. I seriously did think the clock stopped on the scorings, but I guess not. Nevertheless, they're not going to get this thing kicked off before the end, before this clock stops. We're at 20 seconds and counting.
I think you're right. I don't think they're going to get the kickoff away. As now the clock stopped at 15 seconds.
So they're off an extra 20 seconds or so. We'll just hold here as we're up against a break. And it'll be a kickoff coming for Cumberland Gap. Coaching staff coming off the press box, knowing this one is in hand. A 41-point lead currently for the Panthers.
And for Cumberland Gap, you love to have a dominant victory like this, especially at home in front of your fan base for what's going to be the 4th victory of the season for the Panthers.
Neverstitch kicks it off. It'll skip off the ground. Picked up the 18-yard line to the 25 and being taken down inside the 30 to about the 33-yard line. It'll be Wartburg, and that's where the Bulldogs will start the 4th quarter of action. The clock continues to run. We're at 3, 2, now at 1, and we've played 3 here from Panther Field. Our score, it is Cumberland Gap 47, it is Wartburg 6.
If you enjoy lakes, boating, mountains, and great food, you'll love Norris Landing Marina in Claiborne County, Tennessee. Located off Lone Mountain Road, Norris Landing Marina has these benefits for you. A 170-slip marina with seasonal rental slips, rental pontoon and pleasure boats, vacation cabins and cottages, a 23-space RV park, and Jimmy's Place Restaurant. Great food and casual dining in an on-the-water setting. Contact us and make the Norris Landing Marina your enjoyment destination.
It's the Old Town Grill.
The Old Town Grill is a special place where you bring more than family, more than friends. Bring a hearty appetite, because at the Old Town Grill, you'll never walk away hungry. A delicious change from the ordinary. The perfect place to bring the entire family. The best food and plenty of it. Join the fun and treat your appetite to something special.
It's the OTG.
The OTG is the place to be.
Cumberland Gap currently leads 47-6. The 41-point margin right now would be tied with 2 victories for the 7th biggest margin of victory in Cumberland Gap history. They're 3 points away from the 5th largest victory at home in Cumberland Gap history.
I was just doing a little bit of research myself. The last time that Cumberland Gap emerged victorious by a win, by a mercy rule victory of 35 or more was back on October the 14th of last season, which was a 47-12 win at Cosby, and that was on the road. So you know that this fan base, it's been a while since the Panthers have come away with a dominant victory like this in front of their home crowd. So definitely good to see here for the fans here at the Gap.
47 points, also 8 points away from 5th most scored at home. We start the 4th quarter of action. Wartburg has a Ken Middle first down and 10. Man in motion from the left to the right. It's going to be a handoff. It's going to be a pass down the field, and it's going to be incomplete. almost intercepted. I don't know if the receiver had looked. He threw at the receiver that was actually covered just onto his other side there. Dude was wide open.
Yeah, I think you're right. You missed an opportunity there, but nonetheless, the receiver that was targeted, the pass was broken up by the junior defensive back, Evan Jackson, who made the nice play with his right hand to bat the ball down to the turf and make it second down.
Second down and 10, 3 wide. Man in motion now from the left to the right. It's going to be quarterback keeper. He's got the option. He's to the 30, to the 35, and takes a big hit and falls forward to the 33, 34-yard line. As on the run was number 15, that is Tyler Davis.
And Davis, who is playing quarterback for this drive for the Bulldogs, I think he, after he passed the line of scrimmage, kind of looked for the running back, and he wasn't there behind him. The running back had slowed down a little bit, and the quarterback had no choice but to run the ball away.
Third down and 5. 2 receivers to the left side, 1 to the right. This is going to be, quarterback's going to keep this, and he still got it. Throws across the middle, incomplete. Tried to get it to his big receiver, Jesse Melhorn, who's been there, really their one target all evening for the most part. And it's going to bring up fourth down.
Yeah, he's been their go-to receiver tonight. He's made a couple of highlight catches going over the top of some defensive backs, using his height to his advantage. And there, the throw a little bit behind the receiver, but again, hit the hands of Melhorn, and a rare drop for number 18.
They're going to go for this one on fourth down and 5. 2 receivers left side, 2 to the right. Shotgun formation for the Bulldogs.
He's in there.
Pump. Running off to the right side, throwing off way down the right sideline. It's going to be, that is caught outside the 30 at the 27-yard line. Flag on the play. It's going to be a defensive pass interference. It will be declined. What a pass from Tyler Davis to Boone Davidson.
Unbelievable catch from Boone Davidson to make the grab with the defensive pass interference with Evan Jackson on the coverage. And Davidson, number 3 for Wartburg, dives down to the turf as the ball's sailing, downwards. And Davidson somehow gets his arms underneath the football, gets his forearms underneath the football, and doesn't allow the ball to pop out. And a nice catch from Davidson.
Clock continues to run. We're at 9:28 and counting. The official is still down here at midfield, and the chains have not moved. We'll get the call of pass interference, and now they'll have to spend time to move the chains down the sideline. I take that back. They're sprinting. That's the fastest I've seen a chain gang move in a while.
I think you're right. I was just getting ready to say that was some serious. I think he was a track star.
It's a K&K Metal first down and 10 for the Bulldogs. Full house backfield. Quarterback's going to roll off to the left side. This is Davis. Looking, throws, and it's going to be incomplete. Pass intended for Davidson, and a flag on the play, and I think they're going to get pass interference against Cumberland Gap again.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Not sure if there was a lot of contact on that occasion, as the ball really bobbled around, bounced off a couple of players, bounced off a defender, then bounced off the receiver, and the ball innocently falls to the turf. I think it's going to be another pass interference against the Gap.
We're going to get the call here from the head official. Still looking this one over. Not really sure what they're looking over.
And meanwhile, the
pass interference against defense.
Meanwhile, the clock is, keeps running during all this discussion. So, with that mercy rule in effect,
I watched one time at Gibbs. We played 2 plays in the entire quarter because of penalties and everything else.
Wow.
Ball's at the 13. It's a K&K Metal first down and 10. 1 and 2 receiver to the left side. Man in motion now from the left to the right. Quarterback in the shotgun, rolls off to the right side, looking, throws. Caught. Oh my goodness, that is. It's a touchdown for Wartburg. Jesse Melhorn pulls down a catch. I thought that was picked off.
Well, I did too. I thought at first that was picked off, or thought that it may have been batted down at some point, but somehow the ball finds a way to get past the receiver, and Melhorn lands it in the end zone.
Wartburg will go for 2. Trips to the right side. Quarterback in the shotgun. Going to roll off, look, those across the middle, incomplete. So as the clock continues to run with 7:43, now they stop. It's 7:43 left to go, fourth quarter. Take it to the break. Our score, it is Cumberland Gap 47. It's Wartburg 12.
Make K&K Metal Sales your only stop for all your residential and commercial metal building needs. For the past 23 years, K&K Metal Sales has covered the tri-state area with quality custom roofing and siding with many grades, gauges, and colors in stock. If you're looking for complete steel or wood building packages or steel or wood trusses, K&K Metal Sales can help with that, as well as heavy-duty custom carports. Great folks and great prices. Stop by K&K Metal Sales located at 6986 Cumberland Gap Parkway or call 423-869-4261.
Yesteryear Country Market is your destination for the finest and freshest foods in the tri-state area. Yesteryear features a variety of groceries, natural foods, and homemade desserts like their mudslide brownie and strawberry pudding. Yesteryear also has baked goods prepared fresh every day, such as their freshly baked breads sold by the loaf, or they can be put on a sandwich from their deli. Yesteryear Country Market, located at 1453 Highway 63 in Cumberland Gap.
Wartburg Central's drive, 5 plays, 67 yards, took 4:17 off the clock. And with 7:43 left to go, Wartburg getting ready to kick this one off. Our score is 47-12 in favor of the Panthers. So if they can keep on and just hold on for this kickoff return, could very well potentially run this clock out here on this drive.
Yeah, I think you're right. As I mentioned earlier on, to start this fourth quarter, the last Cumberland Gap victory to end in a mercy rule was last October when they were at Cosby. They defeated the Eagles by the score of 47-12. And our score here tonight, after the touchdown from the Bulldogs, 47-12. So a little bit of irony there on this Week 7 action for 2017.
Brandon leaves no stat uncovered.
That's right. Nothing gets by me.
Third quarter, Rockwood leads Oneida 20-7. As this is a beautiful kick taken from the 15-yard line to the 20. Moving around, trying to find something to the 25. And that's where the Panthers should start with their K&K Metal first down, is from their 25-yard line.
Another interesting statistic to take away from this game, aside from a couple of turnovers on downs, Wartburg turned the ball over the first 3 times that they had the football with 3 straight fumbles, and that was with just, about 5 minutes gone, maybe if that, even in the first quarter. Since then, neither team has had either a fumble or an interception.
This is true.
So, interesting swing of events there, as it was turnover central in the first few minutes of the game. But since then, both teams have done a nice job taking care of the football.
It's a K&K Metal first down and 10 for the Panthers. One receiver to the right side. Wings off to either side. Man in motion from the left to the right. It's going to be a quarterback keep to about the 23-yard line. A loss of 2 on the run.
That was, again, I believe that is 18, Miles Cole, who lined up at quarterback to close out the last drive after Caden Brunsma came up with the big run, as his evening is likely over.
Second down and 12. Cumberland Gap will move to 1-2 in the region, 4-2 overall. Wartburg will fall to 1-5 overall, 0-2 in the region. But the one we got to pay attention to right now is Rockwood defeating Oneida. This is going to be on this play, it's a run up the middle, past the 35 to about the 37-yard line. And I'm not real sure.
I think it was
Jacob Graves, number 40, that had that run to the 37-yard line.
And again, in this fourth quarter, in this 35-point lead for the Panthers, Cumberland Gap's got a great opportunity, a golden opportunity to develop some of those younger players, some of those underclassmen. That's certainly what they're doing.
To K&K Metal, first down and 10. Ball resting at the Cumberland Gap 37-yard line. Man in motion from the left to the right. Handoff up the middle to the running back. And he'll be strung around and thrown down at the 39-yard line.
And that's number 44, Tyler Mays, the freshman.
So maybe it was Mays that had the last run, 44 instead of 40.
And the freshman Mays obviously getting some very valuable playing time, as he's got a nice body for a freshman, 6'1", 185. How's that for a freshman running back?
I wish I was 6'1". Second down, and let's call it 9. One receiver to the right side. Man in motion now from the right to the left. Handoff up the middle, bringing the ball forward to the 41-yard line. I'm not real sure.
Crowd's making some noise here. Student section for Cumberland Gap making some noises in the last few minutes of the game as these underclassmen have a chance to show themselves here.
3rd down, let's call it 7. One receiver to the left side, wings off to either side, and a pistol formation. Man in motion from the right to the left. It'll be a handoff, and Cumberland Gap will not get the first down as the ball brought forward back to the 41-yard line. Clock will run. We're under 4:15 and counting now left to go. And Cumberland Gap will be faced with 4th down.
A rare punt here for Cumberland Gap on what could be the final drive of the game.
It looks like they may go for this one.
For the Panthers, and I think you're right. I think they actually are going to go for
How about this one now? 4th quarter. Rockwood leads Oneida 27-7.
Wow.
Rockwood trying to move to 1-1 in the region, trying to knock Oneida 2-1 in the region. It's 4th down and 7. One receiver to the left side. Man in motion from the left to the right. Handoff up the middle, and Cumberland Gap will not get the first down. Wartburg will turn them over on downs at the 40.
So now with 3.5 minutes left to go in this contest, if you're Wartburg, you got to think that you can possibly get in the end zone one final time on the evening. As really the Wartburg offense has been a lot better than it's been indicated. You know, the Bulldogs have only put up 12 points tonight, but it really, they've been able to move the ball, as I mentioned. Just the inability to finish those drives has, and then, you know, combating that with the defensive breakdowns has really, that's what's allowed Cumberland Gap to come away with this lead.
Under 3 minutes now left to go. Wartburg still not really come out here. It's a final. Johnson County has defeated Claiborne tonight 34-0.
So that Claiborne Bulldog offense still struggling on the road, away from home. That offense struggling to put points on the board.
One receiver to the left side, 3 to the right on a Kankakee Meadow 1st down. Feeling pressure, rolls off to the right side. This is Davis, throws off into the flat. Incomplete. No.
I think they're going to say.
Okay, incomplete.
Okay. Well, it looked, that was Boone Davidson who somehow dove underneath the football and tried to catch it. And he was not the intended receiver, I don't think.
No.
I don't think that's who the quarterback intended to fire the ball away to. And nonetheless, that was almost a miraculous catch from, I believe that was Boone Davidson.
2nd down. 2 receivers off to either side. Man in motion from the left to the right. Rolling off to the left, feeling pressure, stops, pops, throws. Incomplete. Once again, throwing the football was number 15, Tyler Davis.
Davis felt the heat off of that throw as he was rolling to the near sideline and took a big pop as he tried to let the football go away from his hands for another incomplete pass.
Approaching 90 seconds left to go here inside of this contest. Cumberland Gap leading 47-12. Trips to the left side. Shotgun formation for Davis. Man in motion now from the left to the right. Davis still got the football, feeling pressure, stops, posts up in the middle of the pocket. It's complete to the 25, to the 20, to the 15, to the 10, to the 5, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Wartburg, as the pass was completed to Josh Moore.
Wow. What a miraculous play from Wartburg. First of all, for Tyler Davis to somehow escape the pocket and scramble away and fire a pass off toward the near sideline, and then the job from Josh Moore to withstand the big hit, catch the pass, and turn upfield and race into the end zone. What a play from the Bulldogs to not give up and score one more time.
Wartburg will go for 2. 2 receiver to the left side, 2 to the right. Shotgun formation for Davis. Davis option. Make the reverse to the near side. To the 10, to the 5, and in the end zone. 2-point conversion is good on the run. Time out of the field with 1:13 left to go here inside of the 4th quarter. Cumberland Gap leads with our new score. It is Panthers 47. It is Bulldogs 20.
If you enjoy lakes, boating, mountains, and great food, you'll love Norris Landing Marina in Claiborne County, Tennessee. Located off Lone Mountain Road, Norris Landing Marina has these benefits for you. A 170-slip marina with seasonal rental slips, rental pontoon and pleasure boats, vacation cabins and cottages, a 23-space RV park, and Jimmy's Place Restaurant. Great food and casual dining in an on-the-water setting. Contact us and make the Norris Landing Marina your enjoyment destination.
It's the Old Town Grill.
The Old Town Grill is a special place where you bring more than family, more than friends. Bring a hearty appetite, because at the Old Town Grill, you'll never walk away hungry. A delicious change from the ordinary. The perfect place to bring the entire family. The best food and plenty of it. Join the fun and treat your appetite to something special.
It's the OTG.
The OTG is the place to be.
47-20 is our score. Cumberland Gap leading Wartburg. That last scoring drive for the Bulldogs. 3 plays, 40 yards to 2:43 off the clock. They are back to within 27. The clock will no longer continuously run.
And you mentioned that it was a 3-play drive. It was really a 1-play drive, essentially, off that miraculous play to go 40 yards off of 2 incompletions. And quarterback for Wartburg, Davis, somehow was able to find more into the end zone to make it now a 27-point ball game. And fortunately for Cumberland Gap, only 1:13 remains, so you think that the Panthers can get the football, take a few knees, and put this contest to bed.
We have obviously following Rockwood Oneida. The other team that's inside of our district, or the inside of the region here, is Meigs County. They're on the road tonight and outside of regional coverage. They're leading Cumberland County at the break 41-6. Wartburg kicks this one off. Cumberland Gap will take it from the 15 to the 20 to the 25, and eventually being taken down near the 30-yard line is the Panthers. And they will start with a K&K Metal first down and 10 with 1:05 on the clock.
Well, the ball carrier for Cumberland Gap, lucky to see no more injuries on that play. He took a monster hit. Took a nice pop there as he crossed the 30-yard line. And that's where Cumberland Gap will take over with a minute left to go. And as I mentioned, as Cumberland Gap may just be in the victory formation here to start this drive.
Young players in the lineup. You may actually run a few plays here.
You could, yeah.
Looks like they're made on a K&K Metal first down and 10. One receiver to the left side. Man in motion now from the right to the left. High snap. Quarterback takes it, makes some moves. He's going to lose some yards back to the 27-yard line.
And that's what Klein opts to do. Opts to go to a few plays on offense, and instead of taking the knee to develop those younger players, as it looks like they'll probably get about 1, maybe 2 more plays off for the offense.
Clock is running. We're at 40 seconds in counting. Cumberland Gap will improve to 4-2 overall, 1-2 inside regional play. Wartburg will fall to 1-5, 0-2 inside regional play. Again, this will be Cumberland Gap's first regional home victory since October of 2012, almost 5 years. The fumbled snap, and I believe Cumberland Gap will jump on this. And they will make it up third down, but they don't have to snap it again as we're under 15 seconds left to go. So for Cumberland Gap, they get their first regional home victory since October 2012, and they get it tonight in a big way over the Wartburg Central Bulldogs. As the clock hits 3, 2, and 1. Our final here from Cumberland Gap High School. The Panthers defeat the Bulldogs 47-20 to pick up a regional victory and hope move one step closer to the 2017 postseason. We'll take a break. We'll come back with your post-game wrap-up right here on our Old Town Grill Game of the Week.
Make K&K Metal Sales your only stop for all your residential and commercial metal building needs. For the past 23 years, K&K Metal Sales has covered the tri-state area with quality custom roofing and siding with many grades, gauges, and colors in stock. If you're looking for complete steel or wood building packages or steel or wood trusses, K&K Metal Sales can help with that, as well as heavy-duty custom carports. Great folks and great prices. Stop by K&K Metal Sales located at 6986 Cumberland Gap Parkway or call 423-869-4261.
Yesteryear Country Market is your destination for the finest and freshest foods in the tri-state area. Yesteryear features a variety of groceries, natural foods, and homemade desserts like their mudslide brownie and strawberry pudding. Yesteryear also has baked goods prepared fresh every day, such as their freshly baked breads sold by the loaf, or they can be put on a sandwich from their deli. Yesteryear Country Market, located at 1453 Highway 63 in Cumberland Gap.
It's a final here from Cumberland Gap High School tonight. The Panthers defeat the Wartburg Central Bulldogs by the final score of 47-20. Cumberland Gap picking up their first regional victory of the 2017 season, putting themselves in the number 4 spot in Class 2A Region 2. We're going to take next week off as Cumberland Gap will be on the road and Claiborne will have the bye week. We'll be back in 2 weeks right back here at Panther Field as they'll play host to the Cosby Eagles in non-regional contests. For everyone behind the scenes of the Old Town Grill High School Game of the Week, I'm Adam Haley, and thanks for watching.